What's good, family? You already know the name, Pays and Plays podcast here. Gonna go ahead and give you a special episode. I know I got the wrong jersey on for this one, but who cares? Thursday night football, special edition episode. Seattle Seahawks traveling to the desert to play the Arizona Cardinals. We got the Seahawks as -1.5 point favorites. And listen, I'm already gonna come out here and say that I already made this one of my best bets. I got the Cardinals to win and cover. I took this actually with them being -1.5, would open up at -1.5, a plus 100 on the spread, plus value. That's why I took the money option on that one on the spread. Listen, and I said I was gonna get more in depth into it. So let me go ahead and get more in depth into this thing, man. When I look at what Gannon has done with this Cardinals team, this team has fought. They played defense. This is probably the best defense they probably had in a minute. Having Josh Sweat as a good pass rusher, you know, Buda Baker's been playing good. I like what Will Johnson has done as a rookie. This defense overall has stepped up, has been pretty well, and I like that. Offensively, I know they lost James Conner, and that's going to hurt them a lot. But Trey Benson can definitely show up in a role like this because the guy has talent. They got Trey McBride. I need their receivers to step up. Marvin Harrison Jr. missed out on possibly 2 touchdowns if he would just pay attention to catch the ball instead of thinking ahead of time. And when I look at the Seahawks team, everyone's going to go all crazy and say, "Oh, Sam Darnold, look what they did against the Saints." When the Saints can't even run up and rush anybody, bro, as old as this defense is. You give credit to the game that yeah, they played a bottom tier team that isn't fully talented. But this is when I also think when you play out Arizona, you play in that desert, it's never going to be an easy game dealing with the Cardinals. It's going to be a tough, physical, hard game. And another thing I looked at, 90% of the tickets and the money is on Seattle. So I see that the public is heavy on Seattle. And if you know my strategy, like I always say, when everyone was to zing, I'm a zag. So yeah, I'm taking the Cardinals, man. You can get it at money line. Also, it's like plus 102. So, which I'll probably be double down on that. That's good value either or when I already got the -1.5 as plus 100, which is why I said sometimes you get these lines where they open. So the fact that the line flipped, it shows you that all the money was poured into Seattle. All right, which is why now it looked like Seattle's a big public favorite. Now, as far as the total, it's like 43.5. I'm going to go under. I think this is the typical NFC West drag out game, right? It could be a 20-13 type game, a 17-13 type game, a 17-10 type game. That's actually how I see this game kind of panning out. I don't expect a lot of points. And even though it had nothing to do with the under, but there has been a thing that Sunday night, not Sunday night, correction, Thursday night football the last few weeks, other than Buffalo, the games have went under. So it makes sense with this type of matchup. McDonald is a defensive guy. Gann is a defensive guy. So I could see it being a lot of running the ball and a lot of defense. Now, I'm gonna also hit you guys with player props, and I know guys, people like that. You guys like doing same game parlays or just regular straight bets on like player props. So I'm gonna go ahead and give you a couple ideas that I do think could be possible for great value. Now, I also mentioned there's no James Conner for the rest of the season for the Cardinals. So who had to step up? Well, Trey Benson. Of course, I seen this prop at plus 105 for anytime touchdown, which it makes sense, right? Because I see him getting the ball a lot. But I'm going to look at his receiving yards over 21.5 receiving yards. I definitely see some check downs. Seattle does have an okay pass rush, so I can see Kyler Murray slowly checking down to the running back. Trey Benson can make a couple plays here and there. Honestly, listen, if he gets 3, 4 catches for some decent yards, I can see it hitting 22 yards. That's your over right there. Now, also, Kyler Murray rushing yards is at 27.5. I will go over that. When I said there's no James Conner, you got to kind of mix it up somewhat. I won't be surprised if I see some of that read option, RPO. I can see a little pistol play action fake roll out and him running it. I can see the idea with that because he can use his legs to help make that run game relevant. And his touchdowns at plus 280. So Kyler Murray, who can get rush touchdowns, so plus 280 on that. That's great value. And also, I'm looking at a Seahawks prop that I think is a sneaky play. The rookie Torrey Horton, he's plus 420 to get a touchdown. He's a good kick returner, punt returner, and he can get some yards receiving. His prop is at 25 and a half, which between Cooper Kupp and Jackson Smith is way low, but he's definitely like the third option receiver. So that is very great value right there. If you like touchdowns on the defensive side, both of them at plus 750. So that's kind of like the way I look at it because if it is a under 43 and a half game, you can have a touchdown from the defensive side. Any one of those defenses, like I said, they're both plus 750. So regardless, no matter, you get that one. I can see Kyler Murray, him having to run the ball a little bit more. He can get a touchdown, possibly same thing with Trey Benson. And I mentioned about obviously Torrey Holden because the fact that we know Arizona will be focusing on Cooper Kupp, even though he hasn't been the same, but he still is relevant to the game. And I know they're going to pay attention to Jackson Smith and Jigma. It's just that if Torrey Holden he can make a play. Like I said, he can make plays anyway, man. It could be punt return on special teams, or it could be him getting yards, catching the ball. And most likely, if he gets a scoring touchdown through the pass game, his over 25 and a half receiving yards can possibly hit. That's just my little thoughts, man, on Thursday night football, man. Give y'all some ideas, man, just in case if y'all want to do a same game parlay or just like I mentioned, regular picks, whatever it is, man. Yeah. So I got the Cardinals to win and cover. And like I said, I guess it's a fade to public moment, man, because 90% of the tickets is on them. Does it always matter? No, but I'm just taking a chance, bro. The public has been getting theirs. Week three, the public ate. And I will admit that week three, they made their money. But I think this week overall, when it comes to the week, I think the public may get a little bit of hits here and there, especially because people may have the Seahawks as a parlay pick or a teaser pick for, and y'all know how that goes, man. So I expect it to be an interesting NFC West divisional battle. I expect it to be interesting in the desert. Yeah, man. You guys like, comment, subscribe, man. Check out the Patreon, man. Buy every bet that you can imagine that I will be placing is going to be on that website. 50% off the whole entire month. Type in the welcome code PAGE12. Whatever tier you get, 50% off all the way to the end of September. So as always, guys, let's get this money out here, man. Let's be safe.